Welcome to the AI Daily Business Brief with Paul Knox.
Welcome back to the AI Daily Business Brief. I'm Paul Knox. We make the complex simple, one story at a time. No jargon, no panic, just how today's AI news touches your life. First, the headlines people actually care about, then deep dives that you can use. You'll leave with one move you can try today, one you can try this week, and we'll get right into it. First, there was a reliability shock that you probably felt if you use OpenAI. They logged elevated error rates for web search on October 24th. Users saw slow or stuck results in ChatGPT and Atlas. It was a short incident, but a very loud reaction. There were screenshots everywhere. The status history shows the exact entry. AWS published a post-event summary. It points to DNS around DynamoDB and knock-on effects in network load balancers. In plain English, the internet's phone book gave bad numbers and caused traffic jams. That's why many apps wobbled at the same time. Crowd signals spiked as down detector charts for OpenAI jumped again this weekend. It was a hard effect. People check, post, and they refresh. You get the picture fast, even before there is a full write-up that lands. Human stakes. The Doritos misfire, a school camera system, flagged a chip bag as a gun. A 16-year-old was cuffed, no weapon, real fair. The reviews are coming in hot. This is why false positives do matter. Surveillance fights. ICE is monitoring build out. Reporting shows ICE seeking expanded, always-on media monitoring. Critics warn about speech chills and error risk. If you post in public, you are in the scope. Big power talks. Tariffs and rare earths. U.S.-China negotiators stretched a framework for leaders. Signals include pausing new tariffs and delaying rare earths export curbs for a year. That flows to chips, EVs, and prices for AI models. Browser wars, the AI edition, ChatGPT Atlas is out. Media asks a simple question. Do you need an AI browser? Expect more sidekicks in your address bar and bigger permission prompts. Creators get a new button. Instagram Stories now puts Restyle front and center. You can tap the paintbrush, add, remove, or change stuff with one prompt. Before and after post will certainly spike. Phones calm down. A One UI 8.5 beta adds AI notification summaries and priority alerts. Fewer dings, more focus. Billions of devices benefit once it ships. Marketing math goes public as Mondelez targets 30 to 50% cheaper content with AI-generated tools, starting with digital TV formats next year. CFOs and CMOs will copy this. Last mile glasses. Amazon showed delivery smart glasses, small screens for directions, barcode scans, and delivery photos. Early reports say minutes saved per route. Safety and tracking debates are beginning. AI in the OR. Medicad 8 adds AI that helps mark autonomy and plan surgeries faster. Validation and oversight still rule the OR. Speed is not the story, it's about safety. Gemini's October drop. Google Gemini rolled out upgrades for VO 3.1 video improvements, Flash 2.5 reasoning tweaks, and they added Canvas, slides, handoff translations. It's really quicker drafts of decks and short clips. Category check. AI browsers as a trend. Tech coverage frames it simply that browsers are turning into co-pilots. That invites convenience and new attack surfaces. Use tight permissions when utilizing these new browsers. Info with a local zip code. OpenAI, Oracle, Vantage build out their Wisconsin campus. It is official. The multi-billion-dollar spend. There is lots of power, lots of jobs. It's a data center that should be showing up if you're in the area near you. Enterprise stack moves. Roundups flag Dell AI data platform updates and Kaseya fall releases that are both aimed at MSPs. Translation, users post spikes, status pages stay green, and then they flip. The tension fuels memes and panics. So check both and then decide calmly. Spooky headlines you'll see shared. A report says Some models show a survival drive in test scenarios, non-technical takeaways. The test claim models resisted shutdown in contrived tasks. Debate is hot. Keep claims in context. Segment 2 is the real world AI. What's today's news mean for you, me, small, large businesses? The first thing we'll touch on is reliability. So short outages feel big because your work rides on shared rails. Keep a manual mode checklist for key tasks. Watch the status page first, not your group chat. Meaning when OpenAI experiences errors, check the OpenAI status page, not the different crowdsourcing forums. Privacy and speech. If public posts can be scraped at scale, post like a headline writer. Shared on purpose, lock what should be private. Expect automated sorting. Creation speed. One tap in stories save minutes. That compounds for a small brand that's posting daily. Tools win when they are in the path that you already use. The phone focus. The notification summaries matter. There's less noise, which means better days. That is a quality of life feature. Budgets. When global brands put out a number relative to AI savings, board members and other companies start asking for that same number. Expect half the cost, twice the output. These are goals typical to show up in Q4 decks. All right, our next segment, we're going to break it down like we're in 5th grade. Picture a giant phone book, if you will. If the phone book gives the wrong number, calls are going to fail. The internet's version of this is a DNS. So AWS, that's Amazon, they commonly say that the DNS around a busy database had a hiccup. And that's what jammed traffic. So when the phone book fixes, calls still take time to clear because the lines are very busy. And that's where your delay hits. What is an AI browser? Your old browser is a car where you steer the car. Now an AI browser adds a co-pilot in the passenger seat. You can say, find this and draft that, and it lines up steps in the same window. You still break, you still confirm. That's the only rule that actually matters. Segment 4, you can pick one. Outage ready in 10. Bookmark status.openai.com. When it changes, switch to your manual checklist for the hour. Meaning if you have company systems and policies that rely on OpenAI, bookmark the status page and have plans for what to do when OpenAI is read. Social hygiene. If the ICE story raised your eyebrows, set one new privacy rule on the platform that you use most. Public equals permanent. Creator boost. If you are a creator, open Instagram, go to the stories setting, upload a photo, try restyle, try using clear background or cleaning the background or even adding studio light, post a before, after, tag us if you so choose. Phone peace. If you're on Samsung's beta track, try out the notification summaries, less noise by default. I am very attracted to this feature and I would love for Apple to come out with something similar. Deep dives. We're going to have 3 short stories, useful stories. The first one we're going to touch on is the outage. Many truths, what happened. OpenAI on October 24th, they had a web search error hit right after AWS week with DNS and DynamoDB trouble. New tools like Alice raise expectations for stuff like this on-screen action. When rails buckle, helpers stall. Why this matters for you, if you promise to customers something that depends on AI and the AI service goes down, you now depend on cloud plumbing. So what you should do is publish a degrade plan in your team Wikipedia. Pre-write a banner in plain English. We're in manual mode, no data risk, expect slower responses for T-1 hour. Track tasks finished during this degrade period. If you're above 60%, you're good. If not, add a cache or a human handoff period. The second deep dive for today, a snack bag, handcuffs, and a lesson. What happened? A camera AI flagged a Doritos bag as a gun. Police had arrived, a student was cuffed, and no weapon was found. Why you care? Mislabels create harm. We need minimum guardrails, human confirmation before detention. And then the second thing we can do is publish false positive rates monthly. The angle check before escalation. Parents and schools can demand these basics now, using this case as a trigger point. What happened? A US-China negotiator teed up a leaders level framework. It includes a tariff pause on rare earths delay for up to 1 year. Why you care? Rare earths feed chips, feed everything. EV prices, device prices, and job maps follow deals just like this. First, the consumer impact. There is less outage panic and more manual modes going into place. Phone summaries cut stress. Instagram edits save time. Parents in schools ask vendors for human in the loop rules and error reports, practice drills that de-escalate. Today's story is your basic template. Small businesses, if content is half of your marketing costs, the 30 to 50% benchmark is now public. Start with product pages and social. Keep humans, again, in review. Logistics and field teams. Smart glasses shave minutes. You can now write consent and safety rules first. Optional is better than anything forced. For creators, one-tap restyle is worth testing today. Batch your edits and side stories before you export reels. Anybody in IT or an MSP, platform updates from Dell and Kaseya push one pane stories, so map them to fewer swivel chair movements. Community and jobs. The data center build out brings power debates and hiring waves. If you're near Port Washington, Wisconsin, the numbers are not abstract. Quick hits, Atlas versus the rest. Try an AI browser for a week with permissions tight. Report your own results. Gemini Deck Maker. Use Canvas to slides to draft a first pass. Clean it by hand afterwards. Status sanity. Check vendor page plus one crowd page before declaring panic on something like the OpenAI crash or if your LLM model does produce errors. MSP Corner. Skim this week's channel roundup for backup and compliance angles. I wasn't born in this world. I learned it one clear explanation at a time. Today's story proves two things. Small glitches can feel big. Small guardrails prevent big harm. Skill beats fear. Clarity beats hype. If a fifth grader can follow it, it belongs in this show. This is the AI Daily Business Brief. I'm Paul Knox. It's one move today, one move this week, no jargon. Full sources and dates are in the notes. New episode tomorrow. If this helps, send it to one person who hates tech talk and loves the results. Come back for next week's.